Hello and welcome to Woman Unboxed. I'm Chido Victoria Manyande. And before I say anything else, I want to say this clearly. I'm not here as an expert, and I'm not here with a master plan or a list of answers. I'm here as a woman who has been paying attention to her life, to other women's lives, to the things we're taught, and the things we endure quietly. And eventually, I realized that I needed a space to say the things I've been thinking out loud, honestly, imperfectly, and without packaging them to be more palatable to anybody. That is why this podcast exists. Woman Unboxed is about the gap between what we were told and what turned out to be true. The gap between the promises we inherited and the realities we live with, especially as women. And especially as Black women, African, Caribbean women, women from any background, immigrant women, women navigating multiple worlds at the same time. I've spent a long time noticing something. How many of us are living inside boxes that we didn't build, but we're still expected to stay in? Boxes labeled good woman, strong woman, wife material, good wife, respectable, enduring. And the thing about boxes is they only work if we don't question them or notice them. This podcast is about questioning them and moving ourselves out of them. When I say unboxed, I'm not talking about rebellion for the sake of it. I am talking about awareness, awakening. You know that moment when you realize, hey, wait a minute, this rule I've been following, who actually made it? And why? How do I even feel about it? And who benefits if I keep obeying it? What happens if I stop? Because many of the things we were taught were not neutral. They were cultural scripts, survival strategies, gendered expectations, misrepresentations. And some of them no longer serve us at all. Most of them actually never did. We were just not aware of it. Just think about it. How many of the rules and the scripts that you are living under right now, the rules and the scripts that you are passing on to your daughters and to your sons and to your sisters, how many of them never served you? Just sit down and think for a minute. So let's start with one of the biggest lies we were told. That marriage is the ultimate goal of a woman's life. That it's the prize, the destination, the proof that you've made it. When I was a little girl, my favorite game was Mahumbwe. So this was playing house where I would be playing with my friends. We pretend to be adults. The prime role was being the mother. Every little girl would fight to be the mother because I don't know if it's genetically encoded or is it just something we pick up when we're kids that every girl must get married and become the mother. But this was how we played. This was my favorite game until I was probably around 12 years old or something like that. And all my friends loved to play this game. If you're from Zimbabwe and you did not play Mahumbwe, I do not know what you were playing. But anyway, let me not digress. So, growing up, marriage wasn't presented to us as a choice. It was presented as the outcome, the ultimate outcome. You study, you behave, you're a good girl, you save yourself for your husband, you endure, and eventually you get chosen by Prince Charming. Or so we thought. And once you're chosen, the story says that you should be grateful. You should be fulfilled, complete. You've arrived. You've attained the ultimate goal. But what I've observed in my own life, having been married twice, and in the lives of so many women, is that marriage on its own does not guarantee anything. It doesn't guarantee safety, happiness, partnership, respect, or even love. And yet, women are still encouraged to stay, pray, to adjust, to endure, to try harder, to pray harder. Learn to cook the food that he loves. Lose weight, gain weight. Dress different, dress sexy. Keep the house spotless, keep the kids fed. Make sure the kids shut up when he comes home. Greet him with a kiss when he comes home. Have his favorite meal ready. And also, don't forget to keep yourself beautiful so that he will always come home to you and not stray. Okay. But even when the marriage has become emotionally empty, even when the woman has disappeared inside it, you're still expected to stay, to pray, to fight for it. We were never really told that choosing yourself might cost you approval. Actually, we were never told that you could choose yourself, or that choosing yourself was actually an option. It was just something we never even thought of because it was never on the table. Or being told that staying might cost you yourself. We never realized this. That part was conveniently left out. You know why this lie works so powerfully? It's because it's wrapped in morality, in culture and religion, in fear. Fear of being alone, fear of being judged, fear of being seen as difficult, ungrateful, or broken. And for immigrant women especially, well, if you're in the diaspora, marriage can be tied as well to stability, legality, respectability, survival. You have to look after the kids together. You have to make sure the kids are okay. Childcare is expensive in the West. You have to make sure that you are complying to the laws, which are so different from if you come from Africa like I do. Everything is just completely different. So leaving isn't just emotional, it's structural. This is why I don't judge women who stay. There are so many reasons why a woman will stay in a loveless marriage, or in a marriage that is sometimes even abusive, or as society now really likes to call it, toxic. I don't glorify women who leave either. I'm interested in truth, not performance. Don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating for women to leave their marriages. I'm not saying women should just decide that because I'm not happy I should leave. On the contrary, my hope is that every woman will look into the mirror and get curious about the person they see reflected back. I hope that you get curious enough to want to know who you are. What do you like? What makes you tick? What are the things that you used to dream of as a little girl, besides becoming a wife, besides becoming a mother? What did you want to create in your life? Who did you want to be? What were your hobbies? Because most women, once they get married, forget their ambitions. They pour themselves into the marriage wholeheartedly. This is like something that is just written into our DNA. We can't help it. We pour ourselves into marriage. I'm speaking for the general populace, the regular Zimbabwean woman or the regular African black woman will do this because this is how we are raised culturally. Your husband is your life. But this is costing so many women their happiness. So many women are not thriving. So many women are falling into depression, mental health problems because they don't really know what makes them happy, because they have forgotten themselves. They've forgotten to look after themselves. How many times have you as a mother dished food out to your children and not fed yourself? How many times have you gotten everybody else ready and you are the last to finish getting ready, and you even get shouted at for taking so long to get ready, and yet everybody forgets that the reason you're late is because you were taking care of everybody's needs first. This is what I'm trying to nudge you into correcting. Because honestly, you cannot pour from an empty cup, can you? You need to get curious enough to recognize that you do not belong in any box. and slowly start the process of unboxing yourself so that you can fall in love with yourself and recognize what a precious jewel you are. I'm not saying that I've reached a perfect place in this journey. It's actually something that I've recently started to do. All my life, I was under one label or another, or should I say, I was living in one box after another, and these boxes have labels on them. I'm still trying to break out of some of these boxes, and I'm still just trying to read the labels on other boxes. But the important thing is that I have started this journey of unboxing myself, discovering who Chido is. You can't start the journey of getting to know yourself until you recognize that you are living in a box that does not belong to you. Nobody belongs in a box, least of all women. I know that some of what I'll say on this podcast will make people uncomfortable, including myself. Sometimes I'll get things wrong. Sometimes I'll change my mind. I am speaking from my own perspective as a Zimbabwean woman, as a mother, as a psychology student, as someone navigating multiple cultural worlds. But I believe that we need these conversations more than we need comfort, because silence does not protect us. It isolates us. And every time one woman names something out loud, another woman realizes that she's not alone. How many times have you heard somebody say something that resonated with you, and you realize that it's something you were actually thinking you're the only person going through this in the world, and then you realize, oh my goodness, I am not alone. This is not something unique to me. I'm not weird. I'm not crazy. I'm not paranoid. Just because somebody else has named it. So every time one woman names something out loud, again I'll say this, another woman realizes she's not alone. That is the work. What became clear for me is this. The box only works if we never question it. And the moment we start questioning, it starts to crack. As you listen to this podcast, I want to invite you to notice something. Where in your own life have you been following a script without checking whether it still fits? Where have you been just blindly living according to rules and dogmas that you don't even understand and that maybe don't even make sense to you? Where have you been enduring something simply because you were told that that is what a good woman does? Who in your life has defined for you what a good woman actually is? Do you even want to be a good woman? You don't have to answer anything. You don't even have to have the answers yet. Awareness is enough for now. This is Woman Unboxed. And this is just the beginning. Thank you so much for being here.